Samsung has finally unveiled their long-awaited successor to its Galaxy line of smartphones, the Galaxy S4. The big reveal took place tonight here in New York. And joining us now live from San Francisco to discuss the S4 is Matt Crampton. He's the co-founder of Gigwalk. Matt, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's get straight into it, Matt. One of the most hyped up features of the S4 before the launch was the eye tracking feature, meaning the phone is able to lock onto the motion of a user's eye and respond accordingly, like scroll down to the next page. The S4 has this now. Tell me more about this feature.
Sure. So I think there were a lot of features that were rumored coming out with this release, and we were really unsure what was going to be released. What's come out so far is that Samsung has unveiled some facial recognition technology. And what that does is that while you're looking at your phone, the front-facing camera is recognizing that your face is in front of the camera. And so as you're, say, watching a video, when the video is playing, if you move your face away from the camera, then all of a sudden the video pauses and it resumes once you've put your face back in front of the camera. Now, this also works when you're reading text or a web page on your phone. If you are looking at the camera while you're reading your phone, if you tilt your phone back and forth, the text will scroll up and down while you're reading, so you don't actually have to touch the screen. Now, if you move your face away from the camera, then the scrolling stops and it picks back up once you look back at your phone again.
Now, Matt, Samsung has reportedly filed patents on eye scroll and eye pause. So will this technology be exclusive to Samsung, or can we start to expect to see this in other devices?
Boy, we're definitely going to be seeing this in other devices. LG just announced that in its new Optimus phone that they're going to be releasing scrolling technology that uses eye tracking technology. And you know, there's a company called YouMove out there that is releasing a set of software that's available to install on any Android or any iPhone that performs the same kind of functionality. So I think this is a trend we're going to be seeing going forward.
Now, the S4 will also include built-in health software that can track heart rate, body fat, or other fitness needs. What are some of the other unique software features of the S4?
Boy, you know, they announced a whole lot of features today, and I think we're all still going through figuring out what all of these are, but there are things around collaborating with people, being able to do video conferencing and seeing yourself inside of the photo while you're video conferencing. There's a lot of features around playing music with friends and a general kind of social collaboration things that Samsung really feels like is the direction that they want to take their product in.
Samsung has now caught up with Apple. In fact, it was the #1 seller of smartphones in the fourth quarter of 2012. So what does this mean for Apple, and how does the S4 compare to the iPhone 5?
Boy, that's right. You know, Samsung leapfrogged Apple. Q4 of this year, they sold 63.7 million devices, and that's up 76% from last year. And that's versus Apple's 29% growth. So they're really going to be, they're playing catch up now, Apple is, in trying to catch up with where Samsung is. Now, how did Samsung do this? Go ahead.
Well, one of the biggest challenges for Samsung is that most applications are actually developed for iPhones. So how can Samsung overcome this hurdle?
Boy, that's definitely true. A lot of app developers that are developing software end up developing it for iPhone first and then come out with an Android app later on. Now, I think that as the Samsung products start to get better and Android gets wider adoption, I think that we'll start seeing a trend where app developers start developing for Android as well. But right now, this is a hurdle that Android phones in general have to overcome, that there's a lot more apps for iPhone than there is for Android.
And you mentioned Android phones in general, and the S4 is running on Google's Android operating system, like many other smartphones. So how can Samsung really set itself apart from its competitors that are also Android-based?
Boy, that's a good question. And I think that what Samsung does is they'll take the straight Android operating system that Google produces and really kind of build on top of it, use it as a platform to build new features. This eye tracking technology and the other software features that they announced today is a great example of that. And that's really where they differentiate themselves from some of their competitors in the Android market like LG. I think that you know, the new hardware specs that are coming out definitely also set them apart as they start going down that direction. But software plays a huge role in the kinds of things that customers are expecting.
Okay, we're going to have to leave it there. Matt Crampton, thank you so much for joining us. Matt Crampton, co-founder of Gigwalk.